Hey guys, this is Mrs. Cutting, and today I'm going to go over with you Unit 3, Lesson 7. But we're going to start with our Do Now. So what you're going to need is your Do Now, page 286 in your workbook, a pencil, a highlighter, and a calculator. Once you have all that, then you're ready to begin. Okay, so you should already have this done, but I'm just going to go through it with you to check it with you. Mark bought 10 ounces of raisins for $4. Complete the table, then fill in the 2 unit rates. So 10 ounces, $4. I want to find 1 ounce. Well, to get from 10 down to 1, I'm going to divide by 10 on both sides. And 4 divided by 10 gives me 0.4 or 4/10. Then I need to find $1. I could go from right here. Instead, I'm going to go from my top row again, because I know that 4 divided by 4 is going to give me 1. So on this side, I'm going to do 10 divided by 4, which gives me 2.5. So then I need $6. So I'm going to go from here. To get from 1 to 6, I'm going to do times 6. So then to get from 2.5, I'm going to do times 6, and that gives me 15. Then I need to get to 8. I'm going to go from the 1 again. 1 times 8 gives me 8, and 2.5 times 8 gives me, hold on, I think my original answer is wrong. 2.5 times 8 gives me 20. I wrote 16, and when I looked at it right now, I knew that that was wrong. Okay. And then I have 12 ounces, and I need to figure out how many dollars. So I'm going to go all the way back up to my 1 ounce. I'm going to do 1 times 12, and then 0.4 times 12, which gives me 4.8. So then it asks me for the 2 unit rates. The 2 unit rates are how many dollars per ounce and how many ounces per dollar. I'm going to highlight those in my table. And when it says dollars per ounce, it means how many dollars for 1 ounce. And when it says ounces per dollar, it means the opposite. How many ounces for $1? So 1 ounce was $0.4, which is the same as 40 cents. $1 was 2.5 ounces. So those are my 2 unit rates. 4/10 of a dollar per ounce, or 2.5 ounces per dollar. So then Betsy traveled 180 miles in 4 hours. So I'm going to start by finding my 2 unit rates. So to get from 180 down to 1, I'm going to divide by 180. And 4 divided by 180 gives us a really small decimal, 0.0222222222. We're going to write that as 0.02. And then to get from 4 down to 1, I'm going to divide by 4. 180 divided by 4 gives me 45. So then I need to find 6 hours. So I'm going to do 1 times 6 to get me up to 6. And 45 times 6 gives us 270. Then for 15 hours, I'm going to go from 1 again, because that's a pretty smooth jump. 1 times 15 gives me 15. So then 45 times 15 gives me 675. And then we need 22 miles. So I'm going to go way back up here to where I have 1 mile. And I'm going to do 1 times 22. And then on this side, I'm going to do 0.02 times 22, which is 0.44. So then again, of course, we have 2 unit rates. We have how many miles per hour and how many hours it takes to go 1 mile. So when it says miles per hour, what it actually means is how many miles we go in 1 hour. And when it says hours per mile, it means how many hours it takes to go 1 mile. So miles per hour, for 1 hour it was 45. That's a pretty common speed limit that we see. This one is really weird. How much of an hour does it take to go 1 mile? It takes 0.02 of an hour. Okay, so we're going to switch over to the workbook now. You need to be on page 286. All right, so lesson 7 is called Equivalent Ratios Have the Same Unit Rates, and our learning goal is let's revisit equivalent ratios. So when we're talking about a ratio table, which we've come to just call tables now, those are all tables of equivalent ratios. So every row in this table has a pair of equivalent ratios. Okay, so we're skipping over 7.1, going straight to 7.2, price of burritos. 2 burritos cost $14. Complete the table to show the cost for 4, 5, and 10 burritos at that rate. So I am going to have you pause me, and you're just going to fill out this part of the table. So it's 2 burritos for $14, so how much for 4, 5, and 10? Once you have that filled in, press play again, and I will continue with you. Okay, welcome back. So 2 burritos for $14, and I want to get to 4. I'm just going to do times 2. So that's 4 burritos for $28. Then I need to find 5 burritos. At this point, I'm going to come down to the bottom of my table, and I'm going to find 1, which I kind of already did in my head, because if 2 burritos are $14, then obviously just 1 is going to be 7. But I can do divided by 2, divided by 2. So 1 burrito's $7. So then to get to 5, I'm actually going to do plus 1 burrito and plus $7. So that would be $35. Then I need to get to 10. So I could either double 5 or I could do 1 times 10. But since I see that 5 times 2 is going to give me 10, I'm going to do times 2 and times 2, which is 70. So then it says unit price. How many dollars per burrito? So for each row, we need to figure out how much are they charging us per burrito. But because we already figured out the price for 1, we already figured out that that was $7 per burrito. That's going to be the same in every single row of this. So if I were to make a table or go down to 1 each time, so I can go from 2 down to 1, divided by 2 gives me 1 and 7. Now let's say I want to go from 4. So I go divided by 4 is going to give me 1, divided by 4 is still going to give me $7. If I go from 5, divided by 5 is still going to give me 1 burrito and $7. If I go from 10, divided by 10, still going to give me 1 burrito for $7. So the unit rate, the dollars per burrito, is going to be $7 every time. But we're also going to just write this as a division equation. So some of you have started to discover that we can sometimes do this without a table, and we're kind of getting towards that point right now. So if I want to figure out how many dollars per burrito, I want to do the number of dollars divided by the burritos. So if it's $14 split between 2 burritos, we're going to do 14 divided by 2 gives us $7 per burrito. Then we have $28 split between 4 burritos. 28 divided by 4, still $7 per burrito. Then $35 split between 5 burritos. 35 divided by 5, still $7 per burrito. Then we have $70 split between 10 burritos. So 70 divided by 10. It's going to be shocking, but guess what? Still $7 per burrito. And then down here, the row that I added, $7 split between 1 burrito is just going to be $7 per burrito. So then here where it has this B, that B could stand for any number of burritos. So if we want to find the price for any number of burritos that we could possibly buy, we would do the number of burritos times 7. So make sure that you have all of this written down before you continue. So what do we notice about all the values in this table? They all have the same unit price, and all of these are equivalent ratios. So the ratio of 2 to 14 and 4 to 28 and 5 to 35 and 10 to 70, those are all equivalent. So we're going to say they all have the same unit price of $7 per burrito, and they are all equivalent ratios. Okay, so you're going to make sure that you have all of that written down, and then I will continue in video number 2.